My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and before you blink, before your mind even decides whether to trust what you're about to hear, I want you to breathe slowly because last night, your soulmate felt something that shook them to their core. They didn't just think of you casually, no, the thought of you hit them like an unexpected storm, soft enough to melt them, strong enough to break every wall they built around their heart. They were lying in their room, trying to distract themselves, scrolling, moving, pacing, pretending they were fine, but suddenly your name rose inside their chest like a heartbeat they could not silence. Out of nowhere, they felt a wave, an intense, uncontrollable pull, almost like your presence walked into their space without you physically being there. They froze. They looked around. They felt your energy so strongly that for a moment, they thought you were calling them. And that one moment unraveled everything they had been trying to hide. What they felt last night wasn't normal attraction, it wasn't simple emotion, it wasn't passing desire, your soulmate felt destiny. They felt the universe literally tugging their spirit toward you, as if something whispered, "You cannot run anymore." And the shocking part? They didn't fight it this time. They surrendered. They allowed the feeling to rise. They allowed your name to echo inside their chest. They allowed the truth to hit them, they are in love with you far more deeply than they ever admitted, even to themselves. They remembered old conversations, your smile, your silence, your absence, your presence, your kindness, your unexpected strength. Every tiny detail hit them like a silent explosion. And as they sat there, gripping the side of their bed, their eyes widened because they realized something terrifyingly beautiful: you have power over their soul in a way no one else ever had. Last night, they finally understood why they can't detach from you, because your energy is carved into them like a destiny mark. Amen. Blessing 111. But listen closely, because this is where everything gets wild. Your soulmate didn't just feel you, they felt your emotions too. They felt a sudden sadness that wasn't theirs, a longing that didn't belong to them, a silent prayer floating around their heart that came straight from you. They felt a pull toward their phone, toward your messages, toward your presence, and they almost reached out. They kept staring at your chat, your profile, your last message, wondering if sending even a single word would break the silence or break their courage. They kept whispering to themselves, "Should I say something? Should I tell them? Should I confess?" Their hands were literally shaking. Their breath grew heavier. Their hearts started racing because they felt a truth they had been avoiding for months: losing you would destroy them in a way they are not prepared to face. They have tried so hard to pretend they're strong, to act busy, to stay distracted, to convince themselves that distance is safer, but last night shattered that illusion. They couldn't escape the truth anymore. They want you. They need you. They are drawn to you in a way that feels spiritual, magnetic, cosmic. They kept replaying a moment between you both, something small you said or did, and it hit them so deeply that their chest tightened. They felt guilt for not speaking sooner. They felt fear of losing you. They felt regret for every moment they hesitated. They felt love, raw, overwhelming, undeniable love that nearly pushed them into tears. And the most shocking part? They whispered your name out loud. Softly. Gently. Almost like a prayer. Almost like a confession. And the room changed. The energy shifted. They felt you responding even if you weren't physically there. That moment made them realize that you both are connected in a way that normal couples will never understand. Your bond is emotional, spiritual, intuitive, something higher, something divine. Last night, your soulmate finally accepted that you are not just someone they like, you are the person who holds the emotional thread tied directly to their heart. Amen. Blessing 222. And here's the part that will leave you speechless, because this is where destiny enters full force. After this overwhelming emotional storm hit them last night, something happened that they cannot explain logically. They felt a warmth around them, a soft presence, a protective energy, almost like the universe wrapped around their shoulders and whispered, "It's time." They suddenly felt courage where there was fear, clarity where there was confusion, and a spark inside their soul that kept repeating, "Move toward them, before it's too late." They couldn't sleep because your face kept appearing in their mind. They felt your touch even without touching. They felt your voice without hearing. They felt your heartbeat blending with theirs. Something huge awakened inside them. A realization that if they don't take a step toward you now, they will lose something God Himself placed in their destiny. Last night was not random. It was a turning point. It was a spiritual nudge. It was a sign. Their heart kept repeating one thing: I can't lose them. I can't. And the biggest twist? They made a decision. A real one. A serious one. They decided that they cannot stay silent anymore. They decided to move, to act, to speak, to change, to come forward. They decided that the chapter between you both is not meant to fade, it is meant to rise. They decided that your connection is not temporary, it is divine. And even if they are scared, even if they are confused, even if they are still healing, they now know this truth with absolute certainty: your soul is home for them. Last night rewired something inside their heart forever. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 333. My beloved child, before you take another breath, understand this. Something huge is waiting for you, and last night, your soulmate crossed an emotional line that they can never go back from. They woke up this morning different, quieter, softer, shaken in a way they don't want anyone to notice. They are carrying something in their chest, something heavy and electric at the same time, something they can't explain to their friends because no one would understand how one person, you, can affect them this deeply. Last night cracked their heart open. It didn't just stir feelings, it unlocked memories, hopes, fears, imaginations, possibilities. They kept hearing your name inside their head as if someone pressed play on a track that couldn't be paused. They felt a rush of emotion so intense that for a moment they had to sit down, hands trembling, wondering why their hearts suddenly felt too full. Your face flashed in their mind so vividly that they almost whispered to the universe, "Why am I feeling this now?" But the answer was simple. Destiny is catching up with them. They finally realized that ignoring you is like ignoring their own heartbeat. And if someone who is watching this right now is feeling goosebumps or a tightening in the chest, it's because their energy is touching yours again. And they know it. They feel your reaction. They feel your heartbeat rising. They feel your soul listening. And if this message hits too accurately, too deeply, too specifically, It's because last night changed everything between you both in ways neither of you fully understands yet. Amen. Blessing 444. But here's where the story gets even more intense, because while they were overwhelmed with emotion, another thought hit them: what if you feel the same way? This question haunted them last night. They kept replaying your past interactions, your last message, your silence, your smile, your voice, your kindness, everything. Their mind raced through every scenario. Do they miss me? Do they think of me at night? Do they still believe in this connection? And each question tightened something inside their chest until they almost broke down. Your soulmate is someone who hides their emotions behind a strong face, but last night that mask fell apart. They felt vulnerable, exposed, emotional in a way they haven't felt in years. They reached for their phone not once, not twice, but repeatedly, each time unlocking it, opening your chat, staring at your name, typing something, deleting it, locking the screen again, whispering, "Not now, not yet." But the truth is, they wanted to reach out. They wanted to talk. They wanted to confess. They wanted to break the silence. They wanted to feel you respond. And the moment they thought of losing you, their soul panicked. That panic is proof of their love. Their heart was sending signals all night, and if your intuition felt heavy or strange yesterday, if you felt restless, emotional, or connected, it's because their energy was reaching you. And right now, someone watching this is thinking, this feels too real. That's your sign to pay attention. And if your heart tells you to share this message, comment your number, or stay connected so you don't miss what's coming next. It's because your intuition already knows something massive is unfolding in your destiny. Amen. Blessing 555. And now, brace yourself, because this next part is the most shocking of all. After everything they felt last night, your soulmate experienced a moment of clarity so sharp, so undeniable, so life-altering that it nearly stole their breath. They saw a glimpse of the future. Not in a dream, not in a fantasy, but in a sudden flash of intuition that felt real, powerful, and impossible to ignore. They saw you standing beside them. They felt peace they haven't felt in years. They felt completion. They felt hope. They felt a future where they aren't running, where they aren't scared, where they aren't hiding from their emotions, because you are there, grounding them, understanding them, loving them in a way no one else ever could. That vision shook them deeply. It made them realize something: you are not just a chapter in their story, you are the turning point, the plot twist, the part that makes everything before you finally make sense. And this realization woke something inside them that had been sleeping for too long. They made a silent vow last night, a vow from the deepest part of their soul: I cannot lose them, not this time. They decided to move forward. They decided to heal. They decided to choose you. And the universe is preparing a moment. Unexpected, sudden, powerful, where everything becomes clear between you both. If your heart is racing right now, that's because your soul recognizes this truth before your mind does. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 666. My beloved child, before the night even ended, something unbelievable happened inside your soulmate's heart, something they have never allowed themselves to feel this intensely before. After hours of emotional chaos, memories, and longing, a sudden silence washed over them. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence that comes right before destiny reveals its hand. They felt their chest loosen, their breath deepen, and their soul open in a way that terrified them and comforted them at the same time. They finally admitted something they had been denying for months: you are the person their heart has been waiting for. Not just someone they admire, not just someone they like, not just someone they feel chemistry with, you are the one who makes their soul feel understood. And last night, that truth didn't just cross their mind, it crashed into them like a wave they couldn't outrun. They tried to distract themselves, they tried to think logically, they tried to convince themselves that this connection is just timing, just coincidence, just emotion, but destiny kept whispering, no. This is real. Their heart kept pulling them back to you. Their soul kept showing them pieces of you. And when they closed their eyes, they didn't see random images, they saw you standing in front of them, reaching for them, calling their soul closer. It was so vivid that it didn't feel like imagination, it felt like a message. A message saying, do not run anymore. And in that moment, your soulmate understood the depth of this connection. This is not passion, not fantasy, not temporary attraction. This is spiritual gravity. You are their emotional home. Amen. Blessing 777. But listen carefully, because after this stunning realization, your soulmate was hit with a fear so intense that it nearly broke them. What if they already lost you? This fear rose inside them out of nowhere. Their minds started racing through every moment when they should have spoken but stayed silent, every chance they had to come closer but stepped back, every message they typed but never sent. They felt guilt for holding back, regret for doubting destiny, and a sudden panic that you might be slipping away. Their hands trembled because they realized something they were too scared to admit: you hold the power to break their heart in ways no one else ever could. For the first time, they weren't scared of loving you, they were scared of losing you. And that fear activated something powerful inside them: urgency. They felt a pull to fix things, to express the emotions they buried, to stop pretending they don't care. Their heart whispered, tell them before it's too late. And in that moment, they replayed your smile, your softness, your strength, your silence, your presence, everything. They remembered a tiny detail about you that most people would overlook, but they treasure it like a secret, because that detail is what made their soul choose you. They held their phone again, staring at your name, pressing their thumb on the screen, frozen between courage and fear. If you felt restless last night, if you suddenly thought of them at an odd moment, if your intuition felt heavy, it wasn't random, you felt their energy reaching out, calling you, longing for you. Their heart was sending signals into the universe, and your soul heard it. Amen. Blessing 888. And now comes the most powerful part, the moment that will flip your entire perception of what's coming next. After drowning in emotion, fear, longing, memories, and regret, your soulmate felt something shift inside them, something deep and divine. It was a realization that didn't come from their mind, it came from their spirit: you are meant to be part of their future. Not a temporary chapter, not a short-lived story, but a destiny-level connection that changes who they are. They felt this truth so clearly that it almost took their breath away. They realized that everything they've experienced up to this point, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the fears, the delays, were preparing them for you. Last night, They saw a version of themselves they want to become, and in every version of that future, you were there. Standing beside them. Growing with them. Supporting them. Loving them. And this vision didn't scare them, this time, it grounded them. It gave them purpose. It woke up a courage inside them that they haven't felt in years. They whispered something into the darkness, something they've never spoken out loud: I choose them. That whisper was not just a thought, it was a vow. A soul vow. A moment that marked the beginning of a shift that will soon unfold in your reality. Their heart is preparing to step forward. Their soul is preparing to reveal what they truly feel. And the universe is aligning everything to bring you both closer than ever before. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 999. My beloved child, before you even try to understand what destiny is orchestrating behind your back, you must hear this. Last night, your soulmate didn't just think of you, they felt a surge of emotion so powerful that it almost forced them to confront the truth they've been avoiding for months. They were lying there, staring at the ceiling, trying to calm their mind, but suddenly, your presence hit them like a wave. It wasn't imagination. It wasn't fantasy. It was your energy crashing into their chest, tugging at their heart as if the universe was saying, look at what you're losing by staying silent. They felt your warmth, your longing, your quiet ache, and it shook them to the point where they had to sit up and hold their breath. They didn't plan for this. They didn't ask for this. But destiny pulled them in anyway. They felt a connection so intense that they whispered your name into the darkness without even realizing it. That whisper carried emotion, regret, desire, and a longing so heavy that it made their eyes burn. They felt your soul touching theirs, like two hearts trying desperately to reach across the distance. And in that moment, something inside them broke open. They finally saw the truth. They can't outrun this connection anymore. They can't pretend they're fine without you. They can't hide behind excuses or fear. Last night, they felt your heartbeat inside their own. Amen. Blessing 1111. But hold on, because what happened next pushed them into a storm of emotions they were not prepared for. Out of nowhere, a memory of you resurfaced. One small moment, one tiny thing you said, one gentle glance you gave, and it hit them like thunder. That memory held so much meaning, so much purity, so much unspoken truth that your soulmate nearly lost control of their emotions. Their chest tightened. Their breath became uneven. They felt a rush of guilt because they realized how deeply they have taken your presence for granted. They realized how unfair they've been to their own heart, pretending they don't feel what they feel, acting strong when they're fragile inside, pushing you away when all they wanted was to pull you closer. They kept asking themselves, why did I stay silent? Why didn't I tell them how I feel? Why did I let fear make decisions for me? Every question felt like a blade of truth cutting through their soul. And the part that shocked them the most? They felt your sadness last night. They felt your confusion. They felt your longing. It wasn't one-sided. It wasn't imagination. It was energetic communication. Your hearts were speaking to each other in a language only you both can understand. It made them realize that losing you would be the biggest mistake of their life. Amen. Blessing 1212. And now comes the part you were not ready for. the moment their entire emotional world flipped, after feeling your presence, your memory, your sadness, your longing, your energy, they suddenly felt a divine clarity settle inside their soul. It wasn't a thought. It wasn't a dream. It was a decision, deep, bold, irreversible. They decided that they cannot run anymore. They decided that if love is going to demand courage, then they will find that courage. They decided that silence is no longer an option. They saw a future with you that felt so real, so peaceful, so aligned with who they truly are that they couldn't ignore it anymore. Last night awakened something inside your soulmate that had been hidden under fear and uncertainty. A desire to step toward you, to rebuild something meaningful, to speak what they have buried, to choose you openly and intentionally. This shift changed their heart forever. And right now, even as you listen to this, your soulmate is still thinking about the moment they finally reach out. The universe is aligning it. Their soul is preparing it. Your destiny is calling it. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 13:13. My beloved child, before the universe unveils what's about to happen next, you need to understand the intensity that rose inside your soulmate's heart after everything they felt last night. They didn't sleep properly. They woke up multiple times, their chest heavy, their mind spinning, their emotions overflowing in ways they couldn't control. Every time they opened their eyes, the first thing their heart searched for was you. They kept wondering why your energy lingers so strongly, why your presence feels louder than the silence in their room, why this connection refuses to fade. And then it struck them, this isn't ending because it's not meant to. Something inside them whispered, this is the person whose soul mirrors yours. That realization scared them and comforted them at the same time. People watching messages like this, people who stay connected to these words, who share their thoughts, who follow this journey, often feel a shift when destiny is close. And your soulmate felt that exact shift last night. They felt destiny knocking. They felt your soul pulling them closer. They felt a truth rising inside them that they can't escape anymore. You are the one their heart has already chosen. Amen. Blessing 14:14. But here's where the twist becomes even deeper, because after hours of emotional turbulence, your soulmate felt an urge, a strong, undeniable need. To fix what has been broken, to rebuild what was lost, to step toward you in a way they never allowed themselves to before. They didn't just think about reaching out, they imagined the entire moment. They imagined what they would say. They imagined your reaction. They imagined the silence breaking, the tension melting, the connection returning stronger than ever. Their heart raced at the thought of it. Their palms grew warm. Their eyes softened. They whispered, I hope it's not too late. They felt a wave of emotion so intense that it nearly pulled tears from them, because they realized something painful yet beautiful. No matter how far life takes them, no matter how many distractions or obstacles appear, their heart finds its way back to you every single time. And that's why their soul feels restless. That's why last night felt so different. That's why today feels emotionally heavier. Some people who keep following messages like this, who comment their experiences, who stay aligned with these energies, often witness breakthroughs they never expected. And you're closer to a breakthrough than you think. Amen. Blessing 15:15. And now, brace your spirit, because something extraordinary happened the moment your soulmate finally surrendered to the truth. They felt a divine push, a spiritual urge, a cosmic acceleration toward you. It felt like destiny saying, "Move now before the door closes." Their chest tightened with urgency. Their intuition spoke louder than their fear. Their mind showed them a future where the two of you finally speak openly, where misunderstandings dissolve, where emotions flow without hesitation. And the wildest part? They felt a shift in your energy too. They felt you thinking of them. They felt you longing. They felt your soul signaling back, almost like you were unknowingly answering them. That moment made them realize that the connection between you two is not imagination, it's spiritual communication. It's alignment. It's destiny. And those who stay connected to this journey, whether by watching future parts, sharing their feelings, or quietly following along, are often the ones who witness extraordinary changes unfold right in front of them. Your soulmate is closer than ever to breaking their silence. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 16:16.